Welcome to In the Glow. I'm Desiree Stordahl, the Senior Research and Education Manager here at Paula's Choice. And today we have a special guest with us. This is Julie. Her Instagram handle is @PDXBeautiful. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
She is an esthetician, a skin expert, and a longtime fan of Paula's Choice. Also somebody who has sensitive skin in particular, which is going to be something we're going to chat about a lot today. So those of you who have issues with sensitivity, we're going to give you some tips, some of Julie's favorite products, some of our products that are specifically geared towards sensitive skin, and then just some other fun skincare tips along the way. So before we jump into all of that, I want to know how you found out about Paula's Choice.
I've been following Paula since she was writing those Don't Go to the Cosmetic Counter Without Me books, and I just really loved how she got into the ingredients and breaking that apart. And when she launched her line, I just had to try it.
And so you have normal to dry, sensitive skin.
Yes.
Has that always been your skin type, or when you were a teenager, did you have acne or anything else like that?
I did suffer from acne, and as an adult, I had a bout of cystic acne. But my skin's always been more on the sensitive side.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a little bit more oily. Now I'm a little bit more dry as I'm getting older.
You do not look older. Your skin looks very young. So let's maybe start with some of your favorite products from Paula's Choice.
So these are a few of my favorites. I really love the Defense line, especially this cleanser. It's a gel to cream, and it just feels so luxurious on the skin, and it rinses really clean, and I don't feel like that squeaky clean.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love the Advanced Replenishing Toner. It's so soothing. It's so creamy, and it just feels like I'm just putting on so much hydration, and my skin really plumps up.
This is one that's interesting. I actually love both of these products as well. And with the toner in specific, you know, all of you guys know I have really oily skin, yet here Julie has normal to dry skin, and we use that same toner. It just has, for me, it's like a liquid moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to use a normal cream or lotion. This really does it for me, and that's because it's loaded with all those skin replenishing substances. And I love that milky texture.
Yeah.
There's just something that feels so luxe about it.
It does.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yes. And like you, in the summertime when I get a little bit more on the oily side, this is all I use, and then I put sunscreen on top of it. It just gives me that amount of hydration.
So then I noticed the BHA, which is everybody's cult favorite.
Absolutely. Everybody should use this. Even with sensitive skin, if you start off maybe just once a week and then building up from there, it's going to make such a difference in your skin. My pores are clearer, my skin is brighter. I just love this stuff, and I use this not only on my face, but in other areas, on my bikini line after waxing, on my arms, my elbows.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so versatile.
I love a good off-label usage for this product because there really is no limits to where you can use it. Any place you have, you know, razor burn, ingrown hairs, roughness, skin that just looks dull, it doesn't have to just be on your face. And we always say, you know, bring it on down to the neck and chest as well. Those areas do build up that accumulation of dull, dead skin.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing once you get rid of that, how much more vibrant everything looks.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you can put it pretty much anywhere, and it doesn't irritate my skin because it does have a lot of plant extracts that are very soothing.
Yeah, and by nature, salicylic acid is an anti-inflammatory.
Absolutely.
So really good for those of you who have been scared to get onto the, you know, acid bandwagon when it comes to exfoliants. If you have sensitive skin, BHA is most definitely the way to go. BHA, also known as salicylic acid, they're the same ingredient. And then over here, what do we have?
I love the Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid. It has the SPF 50. It also has those soothing plant extracts. And I love the fact that I can wear it year round, especially in the summertime when I do get a little bit more oilier kind of combination in my T-zone. It just is so light. I feel like I have nothing on. And for sunscreen to feel that light, it's like a miracle product for me, because I don't like to feel like heavy and sticky, and it doesn't have that sunscreen smell.
Yeah, that heavy occlusive feel.
Absolutely.
I know what you're talking about.
So light.
So one thing I find interesting here is that you've really taken a mix from different collections of ours, which some people think that they need to just stick to all defense or all resist or all calm. And the truth of the matter is it's really about experimenting and finding out which textures work best for you, because there can be a number of products that work for your skin, but we do deliver different textures, different formats of getting those really great ingredients. So I like what you've done here by kind of experimenting and figuring out what works best for your skin. Something else that Julie and I were chatting about before the show started is that, you know, even with her sensitive skin, she can use products like retinol. It's just about learning the right cadence. So for you, what do you do?
For me, I started off very, very slowly using very low percentages of retinol or even vitamin C or BHA, AHA, just starting off really, really just small amounts and very, very slowly. And also buffering is a good idea. So I love to use the hydrating toner and before I use my BHA, just so I can get a little bit of that buffer so my sensitive skin doesn't get irritated.
And you could do the same with retinol. You were talking about how you mask before,
I do.
after.
I use a hydrating mask, and then I let that sit on for, you know, anywhere from 10, 15, sometimes longer. I'll be like watching TV and I'll forget about it. And then I'll gently remove that and then put on my retinol product and let that sit, just so I can have a little bit of that buffer right on top of that retinol, so it's not as strong and it doesn't like hit you like a freight train.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at your skin, which is literally glowing. So were you always good about sun protection?
I am. I'm still very, very kind of fanatic about sunscreen. I use it from head to toe. And I put sunscreen on all my kids. My mom started me on sunscreen when I was about 8 years old.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because they found a tumor on the left side of her face. And she was never a sun worshiper at all. But it was just that daily exposure from driving that you don't think about. And so, yeah, she started putting sunscreen on me about 8 years old.
That is so good, because back in our generations, I don't think a lot of parents knew to use sunscreen as religiously as an everyday protectant. Now we often, you know, a lot more of us know better. Not all of us are practicing it, but you absolutely should be. So I love hearing that you use it on your kids, yourself. And something that you guys from the Northwest know, the Pacific Northwest know, is we don't get a ton of sunshine here, but that sunscreen is still imperative. Those damaging UV rays are coming through even on cloudy days, even on rainy days, even through your car's windshield. So really keeping yourself protected year-round is a really huge deal. Any other favorite product tips or skincare tips, anything unusual you do for your skincare routine?
I don't think unusual. I just focus on a lot of hydration. Even oily skin needs hydration. Everybody should just load up on hydration as much as possible. Daily sunscreen, reapplying sunscreen. But I'm just really very gentle with my skin. I see a lot of videos here on IG or YouTube, and they're just so rough with their skin, and I just cringe. I'm like, stop, be gentle with your skin. Your skin is very delicate and fragile, and you should treat it like a piece of silk. You know, you wouldn't put, you know, your favorite silk blouse in a washing machine. You know, you would hand wash it and be very delicate with it, using only really pH balanced products that are very gentle and don't have a lot of like fragrance and essential oils. You know, you would just treat that very, very gently. So that's what I do with my face. I try not to like do a lot of massages and things like that.
I like hearing that from an esthetician as well, because sometimes you picture like an esthetician and a spa-like experience where they're manipulating the skin around the face. And one of the things Paula always says is, if you can see the skin moving, you're literally helping it sag faster than it would normally. So you're stretching, you're damaging the elastin to a certain extent. So like you're saying, just being as gentle as possible. And one of the things we talked about before the show started also was, one of the things that drew you to our line is the fact that we're, you know, so gentle and so non-irritating, fragrance-free products that really great for somebody with sensitive skin, but everybody's skin
Everybody.
can benefit from that.
Absolutely. My biggest thing is I've got sensitive skin that's irritated by certain things, like one, fragrance is a big one. Synthetic fragrances and essential oils is why I really love, not only these 4 products, but I love so many products from Paula's Choice, just because you can just understand the skin and know what it needs, and she's giving you all of the products. And like I said, I could pick and choose. I don't have an issue with irritation or anything on my skin.
Well, another thing we found out is that you didn't yet know about our Calm line, which probably means a lot of you guys out there don't.
I did not know.
Calm is specifically formulated for sensitive skin. So, we've taken out any of the normally ingredients that could possibly cause a trigger for most people. So, or not most people, but some people. So, maybe whereas we have some products with retinol in our regular line, in our Calm line, we don't, because we just know that that can be an ingredient that some people are sensitive to. We've also loaded every formula up with non-fragrant plant extracts that have these soothing anti-inflammatory properties to them. So you're getting ultra gentle, but still really effective products for healthy skin, for younger looking skin, for glowing skin. Within the Calm line, there is a range for normal to dry skin and a range for normal to oily skin. So you have your options there. The sunscreens are mineral sunscreens within our Calm line, just because people with sensitive skin tend to do best with a mineral sunscreen. And then everything else in there is formulated really to work together as a comprehensive routine. So if you've taken the time to experiment through our line and find the products that work for your sensitive skin like Julie has, then you've got yourself set. But if you're newer, and just really want a good place to start with that sensitive skin, this is a great way to do it. And with the BHA in particular, we've done a lower concentration than our normal 2%. We have a 1% BHA lotion, which is just going to be that much gentler on skin, that much more mild on skin. You may not see as significant results as you would with the 2%. So kind of experiment around with that. If your skin can handle the 2%, that stuff just works wonders, but start out here. Start out at the 1%, see how your skin does before moving on up. You were saying that you just had a reaction to another product.
I did. I'm always testing new products
Yes.
out, and I woke up with a rash on the side of my face. And I usually sleep on my back just because it's like a natural facelift as you sleep. And I don't think I slept on this side, and I don't wash my sheets or anything with irritating detergents, but yeah, probably a reaction to something.
We will send you home with our Calm serum. So this is just loaded with all of those anti-inflammatories that help squelch the redness, the irritation, the bumpiness, just calms skin down. I kind of think of it as like an extinguisher for skin. So we'll make sure you get one of those today.
Thank you.
But the whole line in general just works really nicely and really cohesively together. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, we had a question about vitamin C and the C15 booster specifically. Is there a potential for that to cause any reactions of like redness in the skin?
If you're sensitive to vitamin C, that high concentration can do it for you. And like Julie said, she's actually somebody who is a little bit sensitive to vitamin C. Have you ever used our C15 booster?
I do.
And okay, you can use it.
I can use it. Again, I do buffer it with a hydrating product on top, just so it kind of cuts down a little bit on the irritation, but you can definitely get a little bit red or flushed with it. Just, making sure that you're taking it really slow and maybe only doing it in certain areas at first, just to see how you're going to react to it.
And if it's one of those things that's continually giving you problems, then it might not just be the right product for you, and that's why we have the best return exchange policy at Paula's Choice. So call our customer service agents. They can get you hooked up with a different type of product that can still treat the same things you're looking for, just with a different ingredient.
Somebody just got the niacinamide booster. Is it safe to use daily as a beginner who has sensitive skin, or should they just try it weekly?
I would say start off, because you have particularly sensitive skin, I would say start off once or just twice a week. It's not an ingredient that's particularly sensitizing for people, but I can never say for certainty with somebody with sensitive skin what's going to set their skin off and what's not. So it actually can help with some signs of inflammation for some people. So it shouldn't be a problem, but I would just say be cautious at first, since you know you have that skin type. Have you ever used that product?
I have, and I do get flushed. The flushed kind of redness a little bit. It does dissipate, so don't if you start getting red, don't freak out. Niacinamide can make you a little flushed, but definitely start out really, really softly on the skin and buffer.
Buffer.
I'm always about buffering if you've got sensitive skin. And don't be afraid to say, I'm going to try a vitamin C or I'm going to try a retinol or BHA. Even though you do have sensitive skin, we all need those ingredients for our skin to be healthy.
What are some products or ingredients that specifically help take down redness?
Licorice helps, green tea, tons of the plant extracts that we use. Almost every plant extract we use has mutual properties of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. They kind of go hand in hand. So you really can't go wrong when you see, even resveratrol on the ingredient label. Turmeric is a good ingredient that people love to use in DIY products. Anything that's just going to calm that redness. Do you have particular favorites that you like?
I like licorice a lot. I think it's a great anti-inflammatory. Like you said, salicylic, even though it's BHA, it's still an anti-inflammatory. Turmeric is great.
The plant oils in our oil booster, there's jojoba, apricot, sunflower. All of those are really soothing for skin as well. So just as many as you can get, because there's not really just one best key anti-inflammatory. Omegas are really good, the omega-3, 6, and 9s. We have our omega serum and our omega moisturizer that are very calming for skin.
Going back to the niacinamide, what does that exactly do to skin?
So niacinamide is a skin educating or cell communicating ingredient, which literally can go in and tell your skin cells how to behave like they did when they were younger. So niacinamide has benefits for wrinkles, for brightening skin, but one of the really interesting ones that we found through research and through customer reviews that came in after we launched our 10% niacinamide booster is that it helps with enlarged pores. And how it does that is it goes in and it tells that cell how to behave like it did before it became stretched out, either from clogs, from sun damage, whatever it may be. It's not going to make your pores disappear. You can't get rid of your pores, nor would you want to, but it really can return it back to its normal shape and size. I like to pair it with the 2% BHA because as you're unclogging those pores, that's also going to help them return to their normal shape and size. So you're kind of giving it this 1-2 punch with the BHA and the niacinamide together. But don't get hung up on just enlarged pores. Really, so many anti-aging benefits with niacinamide.
Absolutely.
The triple algae pollution shield, is that okay for sensitive skin? Can you use it every day, or is it best to start that one slowly?
That one is great for sensitive skin. There's nothing in there that should be a particular trigger for sensitive skin. You can absolutely use it daily. That said, every product does take some experimentation, so try it out for yourself. Maybe give it a day or two before using it again just to make sure everything's tolerating well. But there are no ingredients in there that should set your skin off. If anything, it's anti-inflammatory.
And then going back to the C15 and the niacinamide boosters, somebody's wondering what order to apply those if you use both of those in your routine.
Honestly, you could mix them together. There's not one right way. Do you have a particular way you like to layer products?
I like to layer if I'm doing in the morning with the vitamin C. I put vitamin C on and then I wait about 15 minutes just so it can soak in and do its thing, and then I move on to the rest of my products.
And so really you can layer it any way you want. It's such a lightweight product. We often give the rule of going from thinnest to thickest texture in your routine. So, you've done your cleanser, your toner, maybe you're not doing BHA that day, so then you just move right on to your boosters and then your serums and your moisturizer.
Yeah, because I have sensitive skin, I don't typically layer vitamin C and BHA. I just do one or the other. So that's another great tip for those with sensitive skin like me.
We had a question about azelaic acid and that being okay for sensitive skin.
Yes. So that is another ingredient that has research behind it showing that it can calm skin, even suitable for somebody with rosacea-prone skin, particularly helping calm down the redness. I'll repeat this though again, like everybody's skin is different. So even though that's known to be an anti-irritant, even though it's known to be so soothing for skin, your particular skin can respond to an ingredient differently. So test it out for yourself, but by and large, it's actually one of the better ingredients for sensitive skin. Have you been able to try that one yet?
I have, and I really love it. A friend of mine just said, hey, you need to try it. They've got this product, azelaic acid. I'm like, they've got that? And so I started using it, and I get a lot of redness, especially around my mouth, and sometimes I have bouts of dermatitis, and it works amazing at just calming that area down, and it's like a little miracle in a tube for me.
I was talking to a woman at Nordstrom. I had held a Paula's Choice skincare masterclass there, and she had, for her whole life, been using concealer to cover up the redness that she had. And she started using that product, and she said within 3 days, she didn't even have to use her concealer anymore. It is that good. So I would say give that one a try.
How do you treat hyperpigmentation when you have sensitive skin?
Okay, so azelaic acid is actually one of the ingredients you could try. It does help with discolorations of different sorts. Vitamin C is another one, but if you're sensitive to vitamin C, you might want to stay back from those high concentrations or do what Julie does in terms of buffering skin. Do you have particular hyperpigmentation
I do.
tips?
That's my biggest concern, other than just fighting the aging process. But sunscreen is your best friend for that. I do have hyperpigmentation and freckles. I'm a natural redhead, and I are prone to getting the freckles, and it's a big concern of mine. And yeah, so the vitamin C would be one of my tips, and layering in an AHA or a BHA into your routine, it's going to help to slightly fade those.
Yeah, it helps with the cell turnover, and
Yeah.
it can do a lot, even just kind of exfoliating off that
Absolutely.
top dead layer that's hanging on to
It's
the
going to
discoloration.
look a lot less dull.
Yeah.
Which of our products has azelaic acid in it?
Well, if you're looking for the highest concentration, you want to go with our azelaic acid booster. We do have other products that have derivatives of azelaic acid, but if you really want to go like full force, then just go straight to the azelaic acid booster. Okay, guys, well, that has wrapped up our time for today. We loved taking your questions, and as always, please write in and let us know what other topics you'd like us to cover. Julie, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to do this with you today and to answer some questions regarding my sensitive skin.
Awesome. Well, I know our sensitive skin fans enjoyed it. See you guys next time.
Bye.